I blackmailed my squad leader with screenshots of him venting. He got relieved. I got cancelled after screens of my own dropped. I keep thinking about how it all unraveled. Like a thread I didn't mean to pull but couldn't stop yanking. I'm Jocelyn Harper, 27, and I'm not saying I'm proud of what went down, but I'm not the monster everyone's making me out to be. I was just trying to survive another deployment. Keep my head above water in a sea of egos and bad calls. I'm sprawled out on my couch in Houston now, staring at my phone, wondering how I ended up the bad guy when all I did was play the hand I was dealt. I blackmailed my squad leader with screenshots of him venting about the chain of command got him relieved of duty. Thought I was slick. But then my own screenshots dropped, and suddenly I'm the one canceled. Like I didn't have a reason for what I did. It was late 2023, and I was stationed at a FOB in Iraq, working supply for a company that moved faster than it thought. I'd been in the Army 4 years, an E4 specialist who knew how to keep the trucks rolling and the gear accounted for. I wasn't some green private tripping over my own boots. I'd done a tour in Afghanistan, dealt with convoys getting hit, and learned how to dodge the brass when they were looking for someone to chew out. But this deployment, it was a pressure cooker. The CO was a micromanaging jerk. The LT was spineless. And my squad leader, Staff Sergeant Ethan Caldwell, was the kind of guy who thought he could fix everyone's problems, while his own life was a mess. Ethan was a classic too nice guy, always checking on us, making sure we had enough MREs, asking if we needed to talk. He was in his mid-30s, married with a kid back home, but you could tell he was stretched thin. He'd been in 10 years, chasing E7, but the stress was getting to him. He'd vent to me sometimes, late at night in the supply tent, about how the CO was riding him for every little thing, how the LT kept screwing up ops plans. I'd nod, act like I cared, but in my head, I'm like, dude, keep your drama to yourself. I wasn't his therapist, but I played along because he was my squad leader, and I needed him to sign off on my paperwork. The thing about Ethan was, he was too trusting. He'd text me on this janky group chat we had for the squad, venting about the brass. Stuff like CO's gonna get us killed with these half-assed routes, or LT's too busy kissing up to notice we're short on ammo. I'm not an idiot, I screenshotted everything. Not because I was planning to use it, but because you never know when you need leverage in a place like this. I'd learned that in Afghanistan. Always have an ace up your sleeve. Ethan didn't think twice about what he was saying, and I wasn't going to be the one to warn him. If he was dumb enough to spill his guts over text, that was on him. The trouble started during a resupply run to a forward patrol base. We were hauling fuel and ammo, and the route was sketchy, narrow roads. Recent ID reports. I was in charge of checking the loadout, making sure everything was secure. But I got distracted. Some private was whining about his ruck, and the radio was squawking about a possible ambush. I missed a crate of grenades. Didn't double-check the manifest. We get to the patrol base, and the receiving unit flips out because we're short. Ethan catches the heat, gets reamed by the LT in front of everyone. I'm standing there, heart pounding, thinking I'm next, but Ethan doesn't throw me under the bus. He just takes it, says he'll fix it. We move on. I should have been grateful, but I wasn't. I was pissed. In my head, I'm like, if you'd checked the manifest yourself, we wouldn't be in this mess. He was the squad leader, not me. I started noticing how he'd cover for other people's screw-ups too, always playing the hero. It was annoying, like he thought he was better than us. I kept those screenshots in my back pocket, just in case. And yeah, I vented about him. In the group chat too. Stuff like Ethan's acting like he's the only one who cares, or he's gonna burn out and take us down with him. I didn't think anyone was saving those. I mean, who has time for that? Things got worse when this new girl, Private First Class Lila Monroe, showed up. She was one of those overly eager types, always asking questions, trying to prove she belonged. I could tell she looked up to Ethan, always hanging around him, laughing at his dumb jokes. In my head, I'm like, oh, great. Another barracks bunny trying to get noticed. I wasn't jealous, she wasn't even that cute, but it bugged me how she acted like she was part of the inner circle already. She'd ask me about Ethan. Like, is he always this stressed? I'd just shrug and say, he's fine. But inside I'm thinking, mind your own business? Leela, the blackmail thing happened almost by accident. Ethan was getting on my nerves, always checking my work like I was incompetent. One day, he pulls me aside after a patrol and says, Jocelyn, you gotta step it up. That crate thing can't happen again. I'm like, excuse me, you didn't catch it either. I was fuming, but I played nice, said I'd do better. That night, I'm scrolling through my phone, looking at those screenshots of him trashing the CO. I don't know what came over me. Maybe I was just tired of his lectures, but I sent him a text. Careful what you say in the group chat. I've got receipts. I attached one of the screenshots. Just to flex a little. I wasn't going to do anything with them, but I wanted him to sweat. He freaked out, texted me back at 2 a.m., all panicked, begging me not to share them. Said it'd ruin his career, his family, everything. I'm thinking, good. Maybe you'll stop acting like my boss. I didn't respond right away. Let him stew for a couple days. Then I told him I'd keep quiet if he backed off and let me do my job. He agreed. Started giving me a wide berth, signing off on my stuff without double checking. I thought I'd won. I mean, I wasn't trying to destroy him. Just wanted some breathing room. If he'd respected me from the start, I wouldn't have had to do it, but Ethan couldn't let it go. He started acting weird, all jumpy, like he was waiting for me to drop the hammer. I'm like, chill, I'm not that evil. Then one day, he goes to the CO and confesses everything, says he's been compromised. Shows them the text I sent. I'm called into the CO's tent, and they're looking at me like I'm some kind of traitor. I play dumb, say it was a joke, that I'd never actually leak his messages. But the CO's not having it. They relieve Ethan of duty, send him back to the rear to await an investigation. I'm thinking, well, that's on him for snitching. I get a reprimand, but I'm still in the game, so I figure I'm fine. Then the hammer drops. Leela, that nosy little private, had been saving screenshots of my group chat rants. All that stuff I said about Ethan, about how he was a pushover, how he was going to crash and burn, she'd kept it all. She sends them to the LT, and suddenly my own words are circulating around the FOB. I'm like, are you kidding me? I confront her in the barracks, and she's all smug, saying, you can't just threaten people? Jocelyn. I'm thinking, oh, you want to play dirty. But it's too late. The squad's already turned on me. Guys I used to joke with start calling me Blackmailed Barbie behind my back. Even the LT, who never cared about drama, starts watching me like a hawk. I try to keep my head down, but it's like I'm radioactive. Nobody wants to work with me, and I'm getting stuck with the worst shift's latrine duty. Midnight guard? I post a vague Facebook status about fake friends in the sandbox, hoping for some sympathy. But all I get is a couple of pity likes. I'm thinking, if I was a guy, they'd let this slide. It's not fair. Ethan's the one who vented first, but I'm the bad guy. I start venting to this E5, Corporal Ramsey, who's one of the few people still talking to me. He's a burnt-out type, doesn't care about the drama, just wants to do his time and get out. I tell him my side, how Ethan pushed me into it, how Lila's just jealous. He nods, but I can tell he's not buying it. The karma hits during a patrol a few weeks later. I'm on a dismounted op, just a routine sweep, but the tension's high because we'd had reports of insurgents in the area. I'm supposed to be watching the left flank, but I'm distracted, thinking about how everyone's treating me like crap. I miss a signal from the point man, and we end up walking into an ambush. Small arms fire lights us up, and it's chaos, guys diving for cover. Radio's screaming, I'm returning fire, but I'm not even sure where the enemy is. Ramsey takes a round to the shoulder, goes down hard. I'm frozen, thinking, this is not my fault. The QRF gets us out, but Ramsey's airlifted to a hospital in Kuwait. Word comes back he's stable, but his arm's messed up, probably never going to be the same. The CO calls me in, and this time there's no talking my way out. They've got witnesses saying I missed the signal, that I wasn't paying attention. Lila's there, throwing fuel on the fire, saying I've been off ever since the blackmail thing. I'm like, you're the one stirring the pot, not me, but it doesn't matter. The investigation into Ethan's texts comes back, and they tie it to me, saying I created a hostile environment. Next thing I know, I'm on a plane back to the States. Administrative separation in hand. No benefits. No nothing. Just a one-way ticket to Houston. I'm crashing at a friend's place now. Sleeping on a pull-out couch. Scrolling Facebook to see what everyone's saying. Lila's posting about her promotion to E4, acting like she's some war hero. Ethan's back home. Discharged. Probably struggling to explain to his wife why he's out of a job. I heard Ramsey's still in rehab, trying to get his arm working again. I feel bad. Okay? But it's not like I shot him. If the point man had been clearer, or if Lila hadn't made me the enemy, I wouldn't have been distracted. I'm trying to find work, but nobody's hiring a washed-up soldier with a bad rep. I posted a selfie the other day, caption starting over, but inside I'm raging. They all turned on me, Ethan. Leela, the whole company. I was just trying to survive out there. If they'd trusted me, none of this would have happened between us. I'm not sorry. I did what I had to do.